Good evening. Today we are finishing up Chapter 7, Section 8. This is all about these special products. And remember, a binomial is two terms. So this is two terms. They both happen to be letters. And this is two terms. So both of these parentheses are binomials. And there's some patterns that we get when we multiply those two binomials to themselves or each other. So if you look at the first one, we are squaring a plus b, which is a simple binomial, all letters. And I'm going to rewrite it with the 2 out because remember that first outer inner last method. So double distribution, you get a squared. And then ab, this is also known as that FOIL. And I'm going to write this as AB. I'm going to keep it in alphabetical order because those are like terms. You could write BA, but you just need to make sure you put the AB and the BA together. And then B times B is B squared. Now, the middle two terms are the same. We could put a 1 in front of it because that doesn't change anything. So our final answer would be A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. So what this is telling us is if we have x plus 1 instead of a plus b, we're thinking of the x as our a and the 1 as our b. And we can go ahead and double distribute that out, which is x squared plus x plus 1. And so do you see how this simplifies into x squared plus 2x plus 1. So every time that same pattern is going to happen where whatever the a is, it's squared. And then whatever the a and the b is multiplied by 2 times a times b. And then whatever the b is, it's squared. So if you get something harder like 5x plus 2 squared, the first thing is the a squared, which is going to be 25x squared. Then 2 times a times b, so 2 times 5x times 2, which is 20x, and then b squared, which is 4. Personally, I would just always double distribute it. So if you want to look at the double distribution method, 25x plus 10x plus 10x plus 4. Same thing, no need to memorize a thing. Just know that it always gives you the same pattern. All right, now we're going to do a minus b squared. So a minus b squared is the same thing as a minus b times a minus b. So double distribution, a times a is a squared. A times b is ab. There is a minus. In fact, maybe we should slash and dash those. So we'd have a negative ba, which is the same as ab. And a negative b times a negative b is a positive b squared. So this simplifies to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So the same thing happens. Let's do like a weird larger one. Let's say 3x minus 4. Okay, squared. So you could do it where you take, this is your a and this is your b. So you could do 3x squared minus 2 times 3x times negative 4, because that's your b, plus negative 4 squared. That gives you 9x squared plus 2 times 3 is 6 times 4 is 24 plus 16. Now, oh, you know what? This is actually has to be a minus. I'll show you why. The b is 4, so this shouldn't be here, which honestly I would never personally use this rule because as you can see I just threw in a negative and I shouldn't have. So I would always just double distribute. It's easy. So 3x times 3x is 9x squared. And it's fun. Just tell yourself it is. It will be more fun. 3x minus 4 is a negative 12x. Go ahead and smile while you write this. And a negative 4 times 3x is a negative 12x. And a negative 4 times a negative 4 is a positive 16. So even when I'm squaring this, I'm actually squaring a positive. It's always positive, but anyways, you still get 9x squared happily with a minus 24x and a positive 16. How great. All right, so now we're going to actually do them. I'm not going to use the rule. We're just going to multiply this out. Feel free to use the rule if you so desire. I'm not into rules. So y times y is y squared. Y times 7 is 7y. 7 times y is 7y. 7 times 7 is 49. Rules are nice. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying. You do. Okay. It's a good thing we have rules for driving. So I am into many rules. Just not unnecessary to memorize rules. Next up, let's go ahead and write this out. P times 6p is 36p squared. 6p times 11q is 66pq. I'm going to keep that in alphabetical order to keep my like terms. 11q times 6p is another 66pq. And 11q times 11q is 121q squared. The middle two terms are like terms. So 132pq is in the middle. We've got our 36p squared and our 121q squared. And that is called, it's actually, these are two forms. This is called expanded form. And this is called factored form with the parentheses. In the next unit, we're going to get into that way more. But it's not that one is simpler. It's that one is better for one thing, the other is better for a different thing. I already did that, so I have an extra random slide in there. Sorry to that tree. What's going on? Okay. Now we're doing the minuses. So r minus 6 times r minus 6. R times r is r squared. Feel free to pause me and complete this and see if you get it right. Then have your little internal celebration. So your answer should be r squared minus 12r plus 36. And yet another. If you notice, every single time I am writing two of these out so I can do my double distribution. If you like to think of it as FOIL, you can. Every single time I have it totally written out. There's no way I want to miss any one of these terms. Go ahead and pause if you want again, see if you can get this right, and then you can just fast forward. Then we're going to put our two like terms together. Okay, the next little pattern is when you're multiplying 1 plus with 1 minus. So, a times a is a squared. And then you have a minus AB, and then you have a plus AB, and then you have a b squared. So when you're multiplying one positive and one negative, the middle two terms cancel. So your final answer is actually a squared. In this case, I just lost my negative there. Shame on me. Is a squared minus b squared. So the oi of FOIL is gone. So let's do something like this. So m minus 2n, m plus 2n. Now if you understand the little rule and you say, oh, well I know that that's m squared minus 4n squared, that is just sweet. And you can just cruise right on. If you're like, what the heck? Go ahead and double distribute. Plus it's fun. You know, at the top of the sheet, if you just want to write down what the most fun thing in this whole chapter is, I can give you an extra credit point. It's all about finding the joy in math. And they cancel, so the green is our answer. Look at this beastly decimal thing. I guess I'll just grab a calculator. All right. So 0.3 times 0.3. And if you are given something in decimals, you can use decimals. If you're not, though, you should not. Decimals do have rounding error. I know these are terminating, so there's not really a rounding error. I'm going to put a squared t because a comes first in the alphabet. And then the middle two terms. I really didn't even need to do this part because that one's a minus, which I don't have there. I'm going to slash and dash initially, and then as you'll see, the middle two cancel. Okay, so then just the 0.25 times the 0.25. And this one's a negative. And that'd be a to the fourth because we add our exponents. So our final answer is 0.09t squared. Goodbye to the outer and the inner of FOIL, the oi of FOIL. Goodbye to the middle two distribution terms. And you have two binomials multiplying with one plus and one minus, giving you a binomial as your answer. Okay, so these are called perfect square trinomials. So if you have this, you get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And if you have this, you get a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. Notice these both have a plus for the last term of the trinomial. And then when you multiply one positive and one negative, you only have two terms, and that's always a minus because you have to have a minus, one positive and one negative, to get rid of the two middle terms. I'm going to go on to the next. This is a story problem. We'll save that last little thing for a different day. The area of the courtyard only. So we're going to find the area of the whole big box, which would be x plus 5 times x plus 5. And then if we subtract the area of the pool, we should have the area of just the brown courtyard. So we're going to subtract x plus 2 times x minus 2. Now, if you've memorized your rules, great. If not, go ahead and double distribute. Or if it just makes sense to you, go ahead and write that down. So we're going to get x squared plus 10x plus 25. And I'm going to keep this minus right here. And I'm going to distribute this, which gives me x squared minus 4. And now I'm going to distribute this minus to both of those terms. So I really have x squared plus 10x plus 25 minus x squared plus 4. So my final answer is 10x plus 29. That's the area of this brown region. All right, I hope you enjoyed your math lesson for the evening. I will see you all tomorrow.